Greetings, Dungeon Delvers, and welcome to yet another exciting chapter of A Tale of D20's Descent into the Void, where six friends journey together to tell a story of mythic proportion.
Gather round, gather round. Let me tell you a tale of life and death, of joy and sorrow, a tale of D20s.
Before we start, some brief announcements, starting off with our spotlight. Today in our spotlight, we would like to give a shout out to Call Shots Entertainment. They're a D&D podcast that started about a decade ago, where they go ahead and they share their experiences and all other types of events that happen with D&D in their lives. They've now started recording new actual play and looking into rekindle their original discussion about how D&D was made and their effect on it. So please go ahead and check them out at callshotsentertainment.com or on Twitter at callshotsent. That's callshotsent. And of course, don't forget to follow us at ataleofd20s.com, where you can get everything on the latest information from our Patreon to our Twitter, Instagram, and more. Once again, check us out at ataleofd20s.com. So, without further ado, let's remove the bookmark and continue our epic tale. Last time, Liberators, you ran off to engage the undead as they seeped into the Grey District of Thelos. There you gallantly battled the Scourge, taking heavy hits, but saving many of the townspeople, except for that one frightened gentleman that's staying within the midst. Midway through your battle, the familiar voice of Dorama pierced your minds through your enchanted jewelry as he announced, due to Horatio not heeding his warning, sent a new foe. It was then that through a shadow portal that Ren, the former captain of the Stone Dancers, appeared in her new, darker form. Taken over by Doramo, she claimed that she would defeat the Liberators, taking King and Horatio captive to complete Doramo's sinister plan, as he was currently trying to find an alternate method of getting to the shard in the Corporus. So, Liberators, you see Dark Ren dance wildly on top of the cobblestone floor as dark vines appear around every corner, next to some of you. Sucking in the remaining undead, with the exception of the Revenants, they all begin to glow a purple-red energy as the armor starts to form around Ren's upper half of her body, still leaving her normal demon dancer garb from her torso and below. So we will continue our initiative. So continuing on, up next are the Revenants. So you start to see the Revenants. Well, first, go ahead and target King the Revenants with your it's only, I think, Revenant 1 who's within your spiritual guardians.
Alright. Oh, that's a fail for a good 20 points.
Alright. 20 points of damage on the Revenant as the unicorns and fae-like creatures bash into it. You hear it howl in pain, but it's going to continue to move half his movement out of your circle and get behind Ren. And with that, he will end it. Well, it will end its turn. Revenant number 4 is also going to get next to Ren and end its turn, as will Revenant number 5. And they kind of seem to all be circling her as more of the dark energy begins to coalesce around her. Next up are the vines. So you all see that these strange vines pop out of the ground, destroying the ground beneath your feet and leaving rubble in its midst. King Monaco, next to you, one of the vines begins to wriggle and writhe around and begins to make a lunge at you. And I need you both to make dexterity saving throw.
16.
Oh, I think it says she's still paralyzed. Did I make the save or
no? You automatically fail.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of you have failed your saving throws. The vines wrap around the two of you. Unable to jump out the way, you are immediately restrained and down with a vine, and you feel necrotic energy begin sapping away at your HP. And you both take 5 points of necrotic damage as it leaves your body, seeping into it. The next vines are gonna go. So that was vine number 5. So vine number 1, who's next to vine number 1? That poor soul, as the human the pedestrian who's in the middle of the battlefield is sitting there cowering. One of the vines goes over and latches onto him. Let's see if he makes a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. No, he does not. And you just hear the guy go, as the energy begins to seep out of his body. You see the vine begin to grow as it pulsates, and him being much weaker than all of you, he begins to start to crumble and go kind of slink into himself, into the ground. Though he still looks alive. Blight number 2, since that was already taken, it's going to... Okay. So, Duran, you looking on over, you see the vine out of the ground. It then increases inside, bursting out like a humongous vine, shooting across, grabbing onto you. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. 17, okay. So, as the vines come over and try to grapple you, you manage to just jump out the way, hearing a whiplash of effect as it tries to grab onto you, but then slithers back into the hole it came from. You can go ahead, if you want, use your reaction to make a opportunity attack against Vine Blight number 2.
Yes, he will.
Alright, go ahead and target it and make your attack. 14 hits.
And that person over there that the vine's going towards, is he like tied up, or does he still seem to be...
He's restrained and looking very weak. Like his skin is being sunken in. Some of his bones are starting to show. And he's like,
Ooh, child. Yeah, all right. That's all I do.
Okay. The vine's going to end its turn as it slithers back into its position. Vine Blight number 3 is going to go. So, over at the corner at the other end where of the neighborhood, next to the canals, another red and purple vine bursts out of the ground there. It wriggles and extends itself again, shooting all the way across towards Duran, past the Revenants, grabbing onto you. I need to make yet another dexterity saving throw.
What? Another one? 20.
20, okay. You once again manage to jump out the way, but this one is also going to slither back, but using already your reaction, you're not able to take it again, and it goes back to its original position after whipping at you. And finally, Vine Blight number 4 is going to take its turn. And, sorry Duran, you're just literally the closest one to everybody, because you're right in the middle. They're also going to take... I need you to make me yet another dexterity saving throw.
These vines are relentless.
21 succeeds.
But so am I.
And yet again, the same process happens. Monaco and King, you get grappled on both by this one vine that begins seeping away the energy from you. Meanwhile, Duran, you're just whipped at between all these different vines, just whipping at you. And you just manage to keep ducking, dodging with your elven elegance as they all begin to seep back and get ready for another strike. Up next...
Oh, at the start of number 5's turn, it would have gotten hit by the spiritual guardians next to me.
You can go ahead and apply that.
Okay. Seeing as Duran is being beaten and attacked by all of these vines, and I myself am tired and not at my best, and Monaco still petrified and standing there grappled with the life being leached out of us, I realize that in this moment, the only way that we'll persevere is through me. And I dig deep and I hold my eyes closed for a moment. And then I say to myself, and I say to Miley Keywithin, please, they need us. And I'll use my 7th level spell slot to reach out and twin cast heal on myself and Monaco, which then will also hit Duran as well.
All right, go ahead and apply that healing effect.
And then because it's at a 7th level instead of 6, it would be for 80 points instead of...
Oh, nice. Did you roll your concentration, by the way?
I did not. Let me do that.
Okay, you're still good.
So in this moment, I pull forth, and this natural verdant energy sort of just spills out of me, and as I reach forth and touch Monaco, she heals to full, and myself and Duran is almost as well.
Alright. So Monaco, as you feel the healing, the petrification effect or the stunning effect that you have on you drops, letting you move freely around, and you now look and see how the vine has you and the situation.
I believe I also had my Animate Caliburn active, so is it a bonus action? Yes, so as a bonus action, I will have it, the 5 pieces, come forth and fly and sort of stab and slice the vine blight that is afflicting myself and Monaco.
Alright, go ahead and roll your attacks.
Okay, I'm targeting it. So, because I'm
You are restrained by it.
restrained, that's why. Okay. I tried my best pulling forth them to smash into it and did what I could, but healed us up in the meantime. And I'll look at Monaco, seeing that she's breathing, took a deep breath, and I'll say, persevere.
Nod.
Alright. So, King, you go ahead and still grappled by this creature, you try to get it, but just feeling the thick wrapping around your body is unable to, it hinders your motions, unable to hit them all the way, but you still heal your allies greatly, bringing them back to the battle. Up next is Cal. So, Cal, you are...
I am fairly close to Duran, probably about 5 feet away from him.
Yep.
I had just rolled off the rooftop and used the Demon's Bane to rip through with a lightning bolt. So this time I'm going to sling it back and grab the non-magical revolver that works, because there's only one left. And I'm going to, I look at the revolver, see that there's 3 shots left in it before I need to reload, and blast 3 shots off at some of these vine blights who have been beguiling my companion here.
Also, since you're on the ground, this was my mistake on my turn. The tick of refresh from myself and Duran would have hit you since you're not on the roof.
You can apply it to him.
So at the start of your turn, you would have got the regen buff and also gotten 3d4 health back.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. So I take this pistol and fire it off, starting at Vine Blight 2.
Alright, make your attack.
A 13 hits.
14 points of damage. Nice. Fire a shot. It hits square onto the vine. You hear the vine squiggle and go as it makes noise when being hit. Continue your attack.
I repeat the shot. An 18 hits.
It does. You don't care. You're not afraid. You're mustering your courage, even though what you fear is in front of you, and managing to hit these blights to defend your friends.
Yeah. That's 12 damage.
Nice. So you see Vine Blight number 2 just wriggle up and it kind of fades away into what seems to be this red and purplish light as it dusts and dissipates, leaving nothing but a hole in the ground where it once was. Anything else you wish to do this turn?
Yes, I would like to move up to stand side by side with Duran so that he doesn't face these things alone. And I want to speak out to Ren. Ren, it's not too late. Duramo's just controlling you with his mind. You can break out of that shell.
Alright. You look on over to... Because since you use your action to attack, this is more like just a quick word you're getting in there. She kind of stares at you. Just no response, no remorse. And you can't even see her face because the helmet is on, blocking anything. But you can tell that she's just emotionless at this moment.
Okay. For my bonus, can I use that to reload the revolver?
Yeah, you totally can.
All right, and then that's what I'm going to do, so that way I have, 4 shots ready to go?
All right. You go ahead and lock and load with your one pistol.
Yes.
All right, anything else you wish to do this turn?
No, that's it. That'll be it. Past my turn.
All right, top of the round with an initiative of 25 is Dark Ren. Okay.
Bum, bum.
So, with the Revenants surrounding her, they begin to, I would say, it seems to be latching on to her. Their ethereal bodies combining with the energy that coalesces around Ren. She looks on over to turning her head left and turning her right. So she begins dancing around in place like she was before in her strange, chaotic motions. And you hear coming out, billowing from her voice,
chaotic vagary, Garden of Eden, forbidden fruit.
And all of you looking over at the vines that were there, you see that they all begin to grow and become bulbous and grow larger and larger and start to expand and larger until it gets to the point where it looks like it's about to pop, and then coming from it explodes this dark, chaotic energy that envelops everyone who's within 15 feet of them. King, Monaco, Cal, as it explodes and this dark energy hits King Monaco, you were grabbed onto it, so you're taking more of a brunt force from it, come on top of the damage that the explosion pursues. So, Monaco, King, you both take...
Oh, not even a save, just a take.
Yeah. They have low HP. You should have... Unfortunately, you missed all those times.
Unfortunately, you're restrained and
Yeah,
missed.
you were restrained and missed. A 14 points from the being at the epicenter, and then the rest of you, which would just be including Cal, take an additional 16 points of this chaotic, necrotic-like damage that infused upon all of you. And so, King, I think you have to roll yours twice because you took the 2 hits. So roll your concentration check one more time.
14 and 25.
Very nice. So that starts the beginning of her turn. She will then, moving with the Revenants, pass into the zone of divinity that King has placed up with the spiritual guardians. So you can go ahead and target her, and you can target the Revenants for the save, King, as they're walking into your spot.
Don't do this! As the unicorns crash into her and them.
All right. One thing you do notice, as your unicorns hit onto Ren, like it damages her, but then a dark energy comes out and it goes onto the Revenants. And she takes no damage. But they seem to chain onto the Revenants. Okay.
So are these vine blights destroyed because they turned into it, or they just grew a fruit that exploded?
They explode. All of them exploded. Sorry, it's just that all the vine blights that were there have exploded and are no longer there. Just holes are in their wake. So I will remove them all. So you're no longer restrained, and I'll remove all that.
Thank you. That's what I was getting at.
I'll go ahead and get rid of them for you. Oh yeah, and the gentleman that was being sucked away, he is long dead.
Wow. He only had one turn.
She couldn't survive the Vine Blight attack.
He really didn't survive the Vine Blight after I got rid of the one that was attacking him?
Because the other one that was still alive was still within 15 of him, so he got hit. He would have got hit by both.
Mostly liberated.
So, as she walks in, walking up towards Duran first, as Duran's the closest, she steps up with her army shield of Revenants, pulling out her long blade. Her long blade like katana. She takes it out, slashing down directly onto him, making her first strike. Ooh, rolling a nat 1. As she goes slowly up Duran, you're easily able to just dodge completely out the way. She slams down, bursting the ground beneath your feet as the rocks begin to spew out. She goes ahead and makes a second strike. A 12, which misses. I'm rolling low, roll a 1 and a 3.
Ren, I can tell you don't want to fight.
Alright. She will now make her third attack. Alright, this one is a 20, which hits. See, this as you're dashing back and forth, trying to speak to Ren. She's taking her sword. She seems to be going faster and faster, getting used to her movements, till finally she clocks you right into your rib cage with her sword, slashing across, doing 33 points of slashing and necrotic damage. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Did that show up? Oh, I rolled a 19.
Yes, it did. A 19. Okay. So, as you're hit and struck by the blade, you feel this dark energy begin to seep into the wound where you were. You begin to stave it off, but it's too much as your mind begins to break under the pressure of this dark, chaotic curse, and you have been bestowed a curse upon. You have disadvantage on your strength checks and strength saving throws. And then you hear her after she makes her attack. She doesn't move anymore. Standing there, you hear her say over your head,
"Succumb to the power of Chaos Liberators, and give me Horatio in King."
And she will end her turn. Up next is Monaco, getting regenerated for 6 HP. What do you do?
Run up to Ren, and with her wand out, not staying a good 10 feet away, but still she refuses to cast any harmful spells on our friend. And she says, Ren, what are you doing? This isn't you. Stop it. This is some magic over your mind. Can't you? You're so strong. Can't you fight this? And she will just spend her turn trying to I don't know, help her friend out.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Ooh, and a 4 for a total of 9.
9. She doesn't seem to take any attention to you. After slashing Duran and ending her motion, she just stands there towering over him, beginning to go with her next strike, heeding you no mind.
She will just simply continue to beg Ren to stop, but doesn't attack her and doesn't cast a spell.
All right. As you continue to plead with your old friend, up next, on top of the roof, Horatio, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
The first thing Horatio is going to do is, since Doramo threw a wild card at him, he's going to throw one back, and he's going to go into Archon of War.
Okay.
With his bonus action. Not wanting to hurt Ren, he is going to burn it on a Scorching Ray. I'm going to hit Revenant 5 first. So let me untarget this clown. Yeah. It's still going to be a disadvantage. I wanted saves. All right. It's fine. All right. The first one hits.
That's a hit. 25. Roll that damage. 5 points of damage to Revenant number 5.
Second one hits. 20.
8 points of damage.
Another 20. Fourth ray. 16 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 9 points of damage. And my last ray, 18 for 6 points of damage. And screw it. I'm going to use a Surge of Power and deal an extra 13 damage to him.
To each one?
To just, I only hit Revenant 5.
Oh, you were doing the same one, huh? I don't know why I thought.
Yeah, I was. Ones. Yeah, no, I only hit Revenant 5. So he took, just add 13 damage to that.
Okay, I'll add 13 to Revenant number 5.
As the last bolt that hits him kind of pushes him back a bit. And you see Horatio kind of exert a little bit of extra power into that last one.
All right. Is there anything else you wish to do this turn? You still have your movement?
No. That is my turn.
All right. So, Horatio, you surveying the battlefield once again, you see that the Revenants are circling around Ren. Going into your Archon of Power, your hair already down from the last time you did this, but this time it shoots up again, flying up in the wind that you create from your sheer force of magic, shooting off your rays, even though you see the object of your fear in front of you, each one landing onto the Revenant one after another, as it explodes in fiery fury. And you feel a little taken out from all that energy you exerted, but you just feel the power just continue to grow inside of you. So although your energy, your magic is growing, you can feel it's taxing onto your body.
And he's getting a little grr face because in Archon of War, he gets angrier and angrier. And that's my turn.
All right. Up next is Duran, taking some healing from the Royal Dominion. What do you wish to do? You feel the power of the curse swooping into your body, sucking away from your strength.
Duran clutches his chest for a moment as he feels the strength sapping, pouring out of his chest to his lifeblood. But he looks up at Ren. Ren, I won't fight you. You're supposed to be stronger than this. And Duran is going to, I'm going to take the dodge action. And I'm going to spend my bonus action, taking a second wind. It gives me 1d10 plus fighter level and hips, right?
Indeed.
Nice. So that's going to be 16 hit points back. And that's my turn.
All right. So, you standing there, using your action to just bolster yourself. Was it your action to, yeah, you took the dodge action? Yes,
He takes the dodge action.
Okay, and bonus action with that. Got it. So go ahead and pleading out to Ren quickly as you begin to bolster yourself and getting ready for either another attack and sustain. You stand there looking at your ally, who you're sure is behind this metallic dark energy mask or helmet. Up next are the Revenants. They take their damage first from the Spiritual Guardians.
Yes, thank you. Let me do that. 3. Come on, Revenants. I need you to fucking die. 15 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Since they all failed.
All right. Their radiant damage hitting them. They're still... you see that... Well, Ren has no wounds, but their wounds were starting to come back, but every time they're hit with this radiant damage, it stops their regeneration, it seems. You're sure of that now after all this time from witnessing them. But they will then go ahead and begin to circle around Ren, swirling around her, in doing so putting an energy that flows into her. And I need Cal, Duran, and Monaco, as you're all standing within the vicinity of Ren's view, all to make me wisdom saving throws.
Make sure to add 4.
Make sure you add your 4.
23.
That's a success.
I roll a 14. I'd like to use my last lucky point to re-roll that wisdom saving throw.
All right, go right ahead.
Aha! This time, it's roughly around the same.
Okay.
Can I use my Bond of the Stellus?
Two.
One of the last effect of the Bond of the Stellus is if the effect requires you to make a saving throw, your Stellus can use a reaction to bolster and allow a reroll.
All right, go right ahead, yes.
I'll look towards Duran and see that Ren's effect is powerful indeed, and I clutch my heart and I'll say in my mind to him, I'm here with you. Overcome.
Plus 4 is a 17.
Okay. So, all 3 of you succeed from this massive stare of vengeance that comes out of Ren. Albeit it seems to be, you sense that it's a weaker stare, a weaker power than the Remnants before, but it's on a wider scale. And she looks on over and just looks, well, you actually can't see her. You can't really see her. She just kind of just looks over at all of you and kind of gives like a noise as she begins to ready her next attack. But that will be all of the Revenants' turn. King, you're up next.
I will take a few steps, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 25 steps, and stand next to Duran up in front of her face. And as I'm walking, I'm going to put my hand to my chest and say, they need you, and cast Cure Wounds on myself, which will give myself and Duran just at level 1 a d8 plus 6 to top us up a little bit. And then as I walk forward towards her, I'll say, these undead and chaos taint you. You were the captain. You were a leader and had order, used order to keep your ranks in line and serve your kingdom. Now chaos reigns, and I'll say, you are being poisoned, and I'll make a few hand gestures and have the few shards of Caliburn fly past me and try and slice into the Revenants and see if I can finish them off.
Okay.
And I'll do 2 of them each towards Revenant 1 and 5, and then I'll do 1 at Revenant 4, since I have 5 shots.
Roll them attacks.
So that is... and obviously I'll use my movement to maintain my vagary. Or I guess I couldn't have walked that much up then.
So that means your vagary would...
I would have been like there.
Okay, so you don't want to walk that far to contain your vagary.
As I walk up, I'll say these things to her and, like, cause the shards to fly and heal myself, like, saying, like, I'm gonna, like, sort of like I'm backing them up. We're here, we're here for you, and they're not. As I try and make this grand gesture.
All right. Ren doesn't seem to make any response as she continues to go into that same motion she did before as she was about to strike back down onto Duran, or whomever at this point, as everyone's walking up closer towards her. Up next is Cal. Taking healing from the regeneration of the King's Dominion, what would you like to do next?
I think that it's going to be really important to take out these Revenants first, so that way we can try to talk to Ren without anything getting in the way. So the first thing that Cal is going to do is he reloaded that pistol. He's going to start using it on Revenant number 4, because he's the closest one. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
My last...
Fucking cursed guns.
My last pistol has broken.
Oh no, Cal.
It's that's what that is. Bonus action to try to repair one of the magic pistols. Why?
No.
Why do I have disadvantage?
You're frightened, so all of your checks are at disadvantage because the being's in front of you.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Well, I'm just gonna start dancing and activating my vagary. Either way, that's it. That's all I can do. That's it.
Okay. So, Cal, you go ahead, begin dancing your vagary, trying to use an intangent with your ability. You fire your gun, and it explodes. Just go ahead and in midst try to repair it, but just looking at the Revenant that feared you, you fumble and are unable to repair it. Now are weaponless, as all your guns are broken.
Well, I have the rifle still.
Yes, you do have the rifle. And
I was hoping to use that later, but okay.
Maybe this is Fate's way of saying to use the rifle.
I guess. Might just be.
Calimber's telling you how to balance them scales.
I guess. Oh, this is ugly.
All right, top of the round, Dark Ren. Okay. Well, since you're all there, she's instead going to use her movement to dance around in that chaotic mansion and once again go into those same motion you saw that she did before and say,
Chaotic Vagary, Garden of Eden.
And once again, the vines pop up into the same spots that they were before. And this time noticing that an extra one appeared at the corner. Completed her vagary, she's going to go ahead, put her sword down, her extremely long sword. And it seems like when she does, going into this motion of leaning forward with her blade, she begins to pull it out and the Revenants unhinge from her, flowing into her sword, as it looks like it's already extremely long, but looking at it, it's almost as if it extends further and further out with this black energy, and then she just slices completely across in a cleaving formation, attacking in one strike Cal, Duran, and Monaco. Ren doesn't have any more movement, but she still has attacks that she can do. Oh, but you still took damage, so I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw. 21. Ooh, that is the exact number you needed, so you succeeded.
Thank goodness.
You are not taken over by the necrotic energy, or the cursed energy.
Whew, not today, Satan. No, Ren, you can resist this too.
Alright, but that was her slash. So now continuing with her turn, she is going to, let's see. She's gonna look on over to Duran and stare at him, resheathing her blade. She instead brings out her hand, releasing some type of strange energy. And you hear coming from her this strange, deep gargle of a sound as she says,
Chaotic energy, flesh to stone.
and I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I got this.
Don't forget the +4. It's very important.
Oh, child. You succeeded.
Oh my god!
Okay. Let me just think.
I love how a 23 just barely succeeds.
So you, as she goes ahead and touches you, Duran, you start to feel your body, your flesh turn into stone, the very stone that she bends with her dancing. And as it starts to go up and go into your heart, the energy of Cal's power of Kalimvor comes upon you, and you're able to stave it off. The stone goes back towards the center and dissipates off your body, and you do not turn to stone.
Whew. Thank Kalimvor and Cal.
Praise be Kalimvor. All right, that was her action and her other action, and she will end her turn. Monaco, you're up next. Healed for 6 points from King's vagary. What do you wish to do?
Monaco will continue to plead with her friend.
Okay.
This isn't you. You don't even have your gourd. What are you doing?
All right, Monaco. Again, at disadvantage, roll me another persuasion check. As you speak to her, your words going towards her, the remnants that reappear behind her seem to be shifting and circling around her, blocking her from all types of communication.
A 13.
All right, a 13. As you mentioned the gourd, she's still in her motion of continuing her next attack, readying her next ability, but does she hesitate for a second? As she was moving her hands in that motion, she stops and then continues doing it nonetheless. You're unsure if your words might have reached her. Is it working? You're desperate enough to try anything at this point.
And,
you still have your bonus and your movement.
Yeah, so she will begin to dance herself. This time not calling upon her aggressive vagary, but instead doing like practice moves, and trying to cast attempting to recreate one of the effects of Move Earth, or Mold Earth, I mean, in order to cause the ground around her to show some symbols in Infernal that,
Okay. So you're using your vagary instead, attempting to do what a similar mold earth effect?
Yeah, the cantrip Mold Earth to carve the ground in symbols of infernal lettering, writing a message to Ren, and at its heart it says it connects love and dancing together, love and stone dancing.
Okay. Roll me, at advantage, a performance check.
Whew, a 25 with a natural 20 plus 5.
25. All right. So you begin to move and try to control the ground underneath your feet, which is made out of dirt and stone and other natural objects. And in doing so, as you move in steps, the ground beneath your feet begins to bend in the motions that you wish it to. It starts to carve itself into these infernal symbols underneath Ren. Ren is moved a little bit as she slips and slides from the earth being shifted around her. Casting her gaze down, she sees the message that you place in front of her in Infernal, and it does seem to take some type of effect. That, with your passive perception, you notice you're staring right at her, like you feel something shift in her. But nevertheless, she still seems to have that animosity, that killing intent in her. But you do develop the ability to mold earth around you with your vagary.
That will be it for her.
All right, well done. Up next is Horatio. After witnessing this, what do you wish to do?
So, I still have Far Step up.
Yes.
I'm currently an Archon of War, and I'm going to take out my components and begin casting Lightning Bolt. And as I'm casting that, I will Far Step right here to Horatio's right, down to the ground, and 100 foot. He is being careful not to hit the trees. Like, he begins casting it on top of the roof, and as he Far steps down to the ground level, at that point he releases it forward, and as he's releasing it, he yells out, "Ren, snap out of it!" And I'm going to make the 3 Revenants make saving throws.
We got 2 successes and a failure.
Whoa. Okay, and this is being casted at the 4th level because I don't have any 3 slots left.
Mm-hmm.
29 max damage to whoever failed and 14 to the other Revenants.
They are really weak.
Revenants have a lot of HP.
Yes. You go ahead and, so in doing so, shifting space-time, you shift over, teleporting yourself to them, shooting your lightning bolt. Some of them manage to move out the way and wriggle past the lightning, but one of them gets struck, blasting onto them. They look very weak, their ethereal bodies beginning to dissipate and form away. And as they keep trying to form back together, the constant bludgeoning of the radiant damage seems to be holding them at bay. Oh, and they actually need to take a little bit more damage because Ren took 9 points of damage from starting her turn there, and it shifts towards the Revenant. All right, anything else you wish to do this turn?
I've used my action and my bonus action. I'm going to use my movement to step right here, and that way I believe I am 15 away from Blight 4 and Blight 5, and that is my turn.
All right, up next, Duran, you take some healing. What would you like to do?
Duran, after seeing the destructive power that came from Ren's blade, he's gonna try to strike at one of the Revenants and try to give his friends some cover. He's gonna move over here.
All right.
He's gonna try to strike.
13 more points of damage to Revenant 4. Oof, they are taking quite the beating.
And with that last hit, Duran's gonna spend 1 combat superiority die to add 1d8 to the damage, and let one of his teammates within sight move up to half of their movement in exchange for the reaction.
All right.
Who wants to move, King?
Sure.
Yeah, and it does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
It's okay.
Duran's gonna turn towards Ren. Remember your duty, Ren. Remember who you are. Remember that you are a demon dancer. And Duran is going to spend 20 of his movement, or is it 25, to activate his cloud vagary.
All right, 25. And yes, so you go ahead and dance, activating your cloud vagary. The winds begin to pick up beneath your feet as you start to hover.
Cloud vagary Skywalker. And that's my
All
turn.
right.
Can I do Spiritual Guardians at the start of their
Oh, yeah,
turn in
totally.
case they die?
Remnants go.
And then also, Vineblight 2 was out of the range, and then Duran walked into
Yes.
range, so I want to target him as well. Come on, hopefully they die. Phew!
All right, Remnant number 4 is dead. You see the glow on Dark
Yeah.
Ren begin to fade a little bit with one of the Remnants being defeated. But continuing, Remnant number 1. All right. With the two remaining Revenants, will begin to channel their energy once again into Ren, releasing, and I need, everyone has their attention, so I need all of you to make wisdom saving throws. +4 if you're within 15 feet of Cal, which I think is all of you.
Yeah, I will also use my Stellite Bond to protect my Stellas.
All right, so now you can, the reverse will happen, so you can go ahead and apply that effect, King.
Okay, let me roll again.
Woohoo.
Just as fucking bad. You don't love me hard enough.
I'm just sharing my fate with you. I'm just sharing.
So we have Cal with a 23,
I
you
know, right?
pass. King with an 8, you fail. Horatio with a 27, natural 20, that is a pass. Duran with a 13, you fail. Monaco with a 28, you pass. So, the Stellus lovers are the ones to fail. You both are extremely frightened of Ren. So the Revenants put into their energy into Ren, as she shoots off this dark blast of fright. The Revenants will end their turn with that. King, you're up next, healing for 9 for your Dominion. What do you wish to do next?
I'm going to shrink down a little bit and sort of cower a little moment and then say, no, she needs us. Cal, finish the Revenants. And then I would like to hold my
Okay,
turn.
what are you holding your action? Okay,
Casting a spell.
Cal, you're up next. 9 points of healing from King's Dominion.
I will take out the only weapon I have, Demon's Bane. And while my vagary is active, I haven't stopped dancing. I see that Duran has started dancing, and I would like to lock eyes with him and kind of engage him in this warlike dance as he's elegantly spinning like leaves in the wind. And I would like to teleport both of us over to the other side near Monaco and King. Is that possible?
Roll me a performance check. Just Kuda. Last time when Monaco combined, she rolled a wisdom. I should have had performance, so it's roll me a performance check. Unfortunately, because the Revenant number 1, which is who frightened you, is in your bank, so will be at disadvantage.
Okay. It should
Yeah, it would
automatically do the
automatically,
disadvantage. Alright, cool. That is a 17.
17.
Because I'm not exactly sure what our vagaries combined will do, but I'm guessing since Duran's allows him to fly and levitate into the air, and mine allows me to kind of move so quickly, I am not seen.
Cal, as you begin to move your dance around and attempt to get out the way, you start to dance and move into the motion of your warlike storm dance in tangent with Duran, who's still in the motion of moving his cloud dancing. You both begin to step together, syncing your motions and movement, and as you do, you all smell the scent of ozone in the air, and more of like a as their dance and movements begins to build a cloud that just billows around them, rising up above them and encompassing a 30-foot radius around Cal and Duran. As they do so, Cal, you start to feel your body begin to speed up and move up, and time begin to slow down. Duran, you're within this strange bullet time motion, and as you do so, Cal, you instinctively see a charge go onto you and your gun that you have repaired. If they're not already full of bullets in there, they're not already reloaded, you start to see these more lightning-like bullets appear onto it, and you start to walk slowly across. And everyone's moving like they're just crawling, and grabbing onto Duran, you start to pull him with you, and the both of you just begin walking smoothly past everyone. The rest of you, all you see is a flash of light and a and at this moment, Cal, you kind of turn around before making yourself 30 feet into whatever direction you want to go into with Duran. Shoot your gun back and begin firing the remaining shots in there as they all begin to slowly fire out and surround Ren and the Revenants. And by the time you end up on the other side, it's more of a crash. And as you do, the bullets fly down, crashing down onto one bullet per whatever you want to target. And you can go ahead and make an attack against them at advantage. So if you want to target the Revenants, I think you get 4 bullets. So you can do 2, 1 on each, or however you want to do it.
I would like to do 2 at each of them. Starting with Revenant number 1, since that is the one that has frightened me.
So go ahead and roll an attack at advantage on it for as many bullets as you strike it with.
And you said this is with one of the magic
you repaired
pistols,
your magic
right?
pistols. That's the only one that's there. So if you didn't have any repair guns, then this would not have been as cool. But luckily you repaired it.
All right, here we go. That is a 19 plus 9.
That is a
28.
hit. Yeah,
drop damage on it.
14 points of damage onto Revenant number.
Can I add a
Yes,
Divine
you can.
Smite to that? Are they
Yes,
undead?
they are. As Remnant 1 explodes, the fear you have in your heart dissipates, and you are no longer frightened.
And I'm going to use the rest of the shots on Revenant number 5, I guess, unless it dies in the process. So now I should have regular advantage.
So, you all witness as Cal... Well, you don't witness it because it happens so fast. Duran, you saw all of this happen as he moved with the speed of a storm dancer, but with the elegance and grace of a cloud dancer as you combine in your wind guiding his bullets to the exact point as they shoot on faster than the eye can see. And Cal, you've unlocked your harmonic vagary called Storm Chaser.
Yes! That is
I'll
so
give you the
cool.
rules later. but you do
All
notice
right.
that 2 of your vagary points have been depleted, which I think you used 1. Oh, actually, I don't think you used any yet. Yeah,
So I should
you
have 1 left.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
But so you move you and Duran to whatever 30 feet to wherever you want to go.
I wanted to be closer to Monaco and King. Maybe like I kind of want to be in front of Monaco, and Duran I imagine would want to kind of be like in front of King.
Sure. Move yourself where you want to. It's your choice.
That's kind of what I'm
All right,
envisioning.
fair enough. So with
hopefully,
and then your bullets hit everywhere, striking off, bouncing off of the rocks, and then as you finally land back in your position, there's just a rain of like dust and smoke that comes down as everything's like goes back into its normal time. And then Monaco King, you just look over and you see both Duran and Cal just standing next to you. First he was there, he was dancing, and then now he's right here. And you just see
I'd imagine like we're both posed like at the end of a dance. Like we just did a dance that no one saw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Revenants just disappeared. Because you killed both of them, correct? Yeah, the Revenants just like fade away, and Ren's no longer glowing nearly as brightly as she was before.
Okay. And then I'm going to look at King and say, okay, go. I'll see what I can do to help you.
I'll say my turn, and I'm going to use my reaction to cast my spell, which is I've readied Greater Restoration, and I hold up the diamond, and I start to spin in place like a ice skater, like a figure skater, and I spin and I spin and I spin and I spin. And as I do, I'm calling forth the energy of Myliki, and as I do, I'll say, King's Restoration, and I'm going to use a meta magic to cast it at touch, or to cast it at a distance without actually having to touch her. And after spinning in place, I'll look at her, and the diamond will shatter, and I'll cast Greater Restoration on her.
Okay.
And I would also like to add the thing that I can do with my channel divinity.
What can you do?
Well, as the listeners may know, breaking the fourth wall for a half a second, I go into I continue to actually dance, and in doing so, I start praying to Kalemvor and repeating the numbers 7, 13, 48, and 22. And in the process of doing so, I channel Kalemvor into the ether and kind of rip my hand through time and space in front of Ren to try to unlock the real Ren, who has been locked away from by Doramo with this evil dark Ren. This dark spirit and energy around her just unlocks and falls off.
Okay. This is the DM processing.
Yes, and then I will just add for some extra flavor. I am the mortal key, and Doramo cannot keep you locked away.
You're in my dominion. Be cleansed. King's greater restoration.
Roll me king at advantage with and the DC is affected. A persuasion.
All right.
24. All right. Ren is going to roll. We have the letter, the Monaco's mold earth of power beneath her feet. Combination of Cal's unlock his power of the mortal key and king, being king, and as well as using his greater restoration, which is a debilitating effect. I will have.
And Duran is using a cloud vagary dressed in a Kaijin themed. Oh wait, no, actually we're in our finery now. So never mind.
Yeah, none of you.
Why would you say that?
So, as you all look on over towards Ren, Cal and Duran jolted towards King. King, using your flex spell, the spell that you use for emergencies from the power that's inside of you, and fast brought that greater restoration, begging, pleading towards Ren to reach out to you. Cal, using that to your advantage, you shoot forth, using the power of the mortal key, the power to unlock things that are broken. The sheer force of energy shoots out of King, and this green white light you see as the energy pierced through your chest, King, through the scar that's been ever growing in you, but you don't care. This is your friend, this is your ally. You're pumping everything into it, combining with your energies of the god of death, the god of balance. The two of your energies swirl and hit Ren like a rocket. Ren begins to cry in pain as she uses her force of will to push back. Memories start to pile into her head. Things begin to unlock. Doors begin to open up within her mindscape as you see dark energy starts to push against her. You're just all crying out towards Ren as her helmet shatters, revealing her dark, poisoned eyes, her eyes that are just dripping tears of sadness. Looking down, she gazes and sees the written works of the mold earth that Monaco placed there in Inferno and begins to fall down to her knees. She begins to hold her head tightly with her hands, just screaming in pain, screaming in just sheer agony as she goes back and forth. And you just hear her voice goes in and out, and she just like, please, no, I must defeat the evil, the Liberators, my family. You will not take me over, creature. You'll not break my will, Doramo. I am Ren, Storm Dancer, and I cast you out! And as she does, the energy blasts from her. The vines that were going to explode shatter. The ground begins to break. The energy from her stone power, her stone vagary, twists and turns and buckles the ground beneath your feet as you all hold on for not being knocked over. The water erupts from energy, making pillars of rock. As she finally lifts her body up, she releases a ah, and a shattering sound can be heard as a boom, and energy thrusts across. Each of you are fallen and knocked over prone by the sheer energy of chaotic blast that comes out, and Ren falls into the ground unconscious, no longer glowing of this dark energy, no longer having this feeling of being taken over, just a resting, exhausted demon as of Ren. Her energy, you all can feel, seems to be back to normal. And with her lying there unconscious, we will take a break.
I don't know that holy shit. I don't know if it's
Oh my god.
Two really low numbers. At the same number twice, it was like 2-2, and I'm like, oh, jeez. It's meant to be.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
Me too. I was like getting chills.
Yeah,
So
really.
good.
Ooh, that was.
Hey there, Dungeon Delvers. Thank you for listening. I would like to take this time to thank all of the wonderful people who helped bring Descent into the Void, a tale of D20s to life. Starting with Frank Freire, who designed our character art, Kyle Misko, who collaborated on the main, mystical, and night theme songs, Manuel Lapuca, who collaborated on our battle and adventuring theme song, Jan Rosa for the use of their original soundtracks, David Chappell for the use of his End of Silence, A World of Color soundtrack, MFY for the use of their Dragon Castle Symphony for Duran's theme song, and Danny.Phantom.01 for creating the Liberators' full art. You can find more about these wonderful artists on our website, ataleofd20s.com. Now click on to part 2, and let's continue our epic tale.